case nobody hops in.
Right, I've just started stream. I am Omster, and with me today, co-casting, hopefully able to fill in the blanks when I have to alt-tab to change things, is Icon.
Hello, hello.
I tried using a second monitor today, and trying to use my laptop to be a second monitor was nightmarish, so for today, it will continue to be the joys of alt-tabbing.
I will be your second monitor for you, sir.
Well, in the second monitor, I have to change things like the overlay and stream stuff, so unfortunately...
I meant you can be left brain, I'll be right brain.
So we're just waiting to be invited into the game and be told what the bands are.
And you said this is the wonderful world of Divi.
This is the wonderful world. So 30 Seconds to Mosh, a pretty long-standing team, and a team with a very long name that includes a Samurai CloneWar, but who's been known under different names. Many know them as Yavapai. So they are a Divi team, and they are starting in just a moment here. So, hoping
I
to get
actually
the
got my start in Divi, so this will be fun.
Well, we don't all get to start at Div A, so I got to start here. And,
No,
I expect
I started in Divi as well.
an absolute blast from our players this year. Again, if there's any sound balance issue, any of this stuff, so on and so forth, feel free to pop a notice into the chat. I will have chat open on my phone. So I'm looking forward to this. I haven't seen a match from either of these teams since I played before. And that's been a couple of seasons, so looking forward to what maps they like, what picks they like. Always interesting to see how the drafts go when two teams that do research on each other go, but with only, 2 weeks into the season, there's just not as much information available. So we're more likely to see a slightly more sedate draft.
The meta is a lot more relaxed down in this division too, so it's always interesting to see people's power picks.
Absolutely, and there's hoping we see it a bit. The game sound is a little loud. Oh, that's because I actually have. I'll turn that one off, but the actual in-game music is fairly quiet. Background sound was loud with me. I just turned off the YouTube one. Because when I alt-tab to play with stuff and the sound totally goes away, it feels weird. Well, welcome Travis Party. I'm Peldor, looking forward to it. Haven't been invited to a game yet, and I'm not sure when they normally tell you what the bands are, but they'll get to us when they get to us. So, looking forward to this match tonight and having a co-caster. Again, fill in the blanks. Talking for an hour stop can be tricky.
To be honest, that's why I gave up casting about a couple of years ago when I tried it. I just would run out of things to say. Which is surprising if you know me.
Well, we both have a lot of things to say, but again, it's the talking non-stop that's tricky. I've invited you to it, Icon, and someone will bop you over into the co-caster. Is the sound better now, Travis/Paldor?
We're streaming Rocket's team. And ours team.
So the first team that, or the first map we're going to see is going to be, check this, Tomb of the Spider Queen is picked.
Tomb's always a good map to play on.
I'm not sure
There's a lot of different
whose
strategies.
bands were whose, but Raka says you need to sign up to be a caster, by the way. Oh, You can read it. You're in here. So banned. Braxis BOE. Braxis BOE and Towers and Dragonshire. So once I have this up, we're going to switch to the BO3. There we go. So, about even with my voice, perfect. Going to coin flip lobby to find out bans from them? Okay. I was looking to see when they showed up in there, and I never saw anybody go in there for the coin flip, so I had just been waiting. So we've got great synergy from on both sides. Actually, the portrait synergy is excellent. So looking forward to showing you all that. Are you ready, by the way, Icon?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll just let them know casters are. The background is better, but probably can be turned down a little bit more. The background is about equal levels with my voice. Okay. I actually have game sound really low for me, but I can adjust that in OBS. I can turn down the game sound a little bit more. There we go. All right, that should make things a little bit better. Raka says hello to all friends. So I didn't take the time yet to research who these guys placed last week, but we can take a quick look on NGS to see what their records are so far. So in the first match for Yavapai, they played Trial by Annihilation and lost 2-1. So they're looking to get their first win on the season here in terms of a set. And for our other team, oh, I'm bouncing around like a drunk. We're going to find 30 Seconds to Mosh and look at their schedule. Last week, 30 Seconds to Mosh played the Crimson Cyber Squad, and 30 Seconds to Mosh won 1-2-0. So it would seem, now granted we don't know the strength of all these teams, but it would seem that 30 Seconds to Mosh, with a winning record, may be the favorite in this match. But we will simply have to see. Still taking a few moments to make sure everyone on both teams are ready before we pop into the draft. The, like I said, the famous caster, Raka, is in this game for 30 Seconds to Mars, so that's very exciting. One team has Ard. We're just waiting to see if the other team is gonna yell, woohoo, party time. Yavapai County Municipal Youth Chess Club and Swim Team, the Samurai Clone Wars, is ready. All right. We suspect we are running into a draft here momentarily.
Sounds good. You have any predictions for what you'd like to see?
Well, I suspect we're going to see an Ariel, to be honest, as the draft comes in. She's very strong. Ariel Dahaka still very, very strong picks. But again, in Div E, there's a little more laxness, so often people get to play what they're good at without having to worry too much about what the meta is, like you said earlier.
I would expect to see a heavy priority on wave clear heroes.
So we see it must be that Yavapai chose the map because we're getting first ban and thus first pick to 30 Seconds to Mosh.
Yavapai is on the left or the right? I can't see.
Yavapai will be on the right.
Okay.
So 30 Seconds to Mosh is the team with Raka on it, if that helps.
That makes sense.
Please, I hope you can't hear the dog barking in the background with my noise gate, but if you do, please ignore her. She's nuts. I have a good dog who's quiet. My sister has a nutty dog who's nutty. So Samuro is the first ban. on a map as small as Tomb, I would suspect that's a target ban. Normally we see him on the much larger maps like Alterac, and a Stukov ban.
Stukov is another target ban, yes.
Another 20 seconds here. Again, I'm not even sure exactly which roles each of these folks play, so I can't offer a lot of insight there. But it sounds like Shank B9 is an offlaner, and last time I played against her, Rocco was an offlaner. But roles change. We got 1 second left, and the ban for 30 seconds is
And it's another.
another targeted pick. So they really don't want to see what Shank B9 is up to in the solo lane. So that's 2 solo lane picks banned out. So it doesn't seem like 30 Seconds to Mosh is worried about the Ariel or the Dahaka. The dog is the third caster. Yeah, she just wants to make sure you know how exciting this match is going to be. And the Leo pick. Well, he offers a lot of wave clear, so it could be that they just don't want to go up against a solo laner that can really double soak, especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen, where being able to soak quickly is important.
He said the dog is the third caster, not the Dahaka.
Nazebo is our first pick. Interesting choice. It seems like they're going to want to go to the late game with the Witch Doctor.
Welcome to Div E, boys. Let's go. And girls.
If Feint is watching this, we know your favorite hero being put in the game is just going to bring you paroxysms of joy. The Lucio pick from Galactos.
A Murden right off the bat.
So these are excellent picks for this map. A lot of movement from Lucio makes rotations really easy. And Murden can. There's so many walls here that Murden can kind of get away from most ganks, get away from most engage fairly safely on a map this small. But he can also jump over walls to start engages. And 30 Seconds to Watch takes the Anduin and the Diablo. What do you think of that, Icon?
I see a Tygus ban here.
Yeah, and Yavapai were the ones to ban out Leo. So now they're not going to be able to, that's another percent health damage character they're not going to be able to use against Diablo.
Wait. There was no ban. I didn't see a ban yet.
Yeah.
Am I lagging?
No, that was their second ban. I think I have a 40-second delay.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
Okay. I'm watching in game. Okay.
And then Sylvanas is the final ban.
A Tygus ban? Potentially?
I don't think that 30 Seconds would ban the Tychus because they're the ones with the Diablo. I would.
Yeah.
And I think they still want their auto attacker throughput damage, but whether or not Tychus is the one they want, we'll see. They banned the Sergeant Hammers. They must. Now, Yavapai, from what I remember, was known for taking sort of out of the ordinary stuff, unusual picks, really liking to have fun with the game.
That sounds fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. So I think sometimes when teams get caught out by surprise by some of the unusual things Yavapai picks. So I think some of these bans were like, let's not let them just have the weird stuff that can win games on its own if not handled properly. But now we see the Tasser and the Greymane come in. So that gives us lots of wave clear and lots of building damage. This is a pretty decent comp. Basically, if they win a fight, you're probably losing a gate or a building. We see the Blaze offlaner for Raka. And the Captain! Fire and Ice are our choices for the last 2 picks of 30 Seconds to Mosh. Who do you think the last pick's going to be, Icon? Icon's afraid. No, we're going to see an offlaner here for Shank B9. And something that will match up against Blaze. Now, Blaze is really great, but Haka wasn't banned, so if he wants a good, reliable offlaner, we might see that. Zul'jin! Do you remember the part where I said that this team likes to do weird stuff? Guys, this team likes to do weird stuff. We've got Tassadar, Greymane, Zul'jin, and honestly, I can't tell you who the offlaner will be, but we are about to pop into game number 1 between 30 Seconds to Mosh and Yavapai. Hope you're all excited for this one. Again, we're going to see something strange. Now, again, on a map this small, you don't necessarily need an offlaner, but still, interesting choice. We'll have a quick look at the end. But first of all, on the blue side, we have 30 seconds to Mosh with our heroes Born to Shine on Anduin, Raka playing Blaze, the Captain on Jaina, Hunter X on Nazebo, and Farfetnugan on Diablo. On the red side, we have Yavapai Samuro CloneWars, and we have Andrade on Muradin, Oraluna on Tassadar, Sarah Lini on Greymane, Shank B9 on Zul'jin, and Galactos playing the Lucio. Both teams looking to come into the middle here. Neither side seems particularly interested in going for a heavy brawl. Zul'jin has decided to go for a happy little walk on his own, you know, where it's calm and quiet. So we're seeing Third Wind, possibly a W build for Psionic Storm. Viciousness, Bone Slicer, Accelerando. So offline Zul'jin, that's going to be a very gankable pick. Already a little bit of trading, but nothing that should make anybody go, uh-oh, death time. On the side, we've got Even Had Blessings, Adrenaline Stim Pack, Toad build for Nazebo. But other than that, we're looking at some fairly ordinary picks. But blue team noticing what we've noticed before. A problem with Zul'jin as an offlaner is he can be ganked, and he wasn't even that far out in the lane. So 30 seconds to Mosh making good use of their game knowledge there. Nazebo going to try and soak up as much soak as he can, try to last hit as many minions with poison as he can. And he also is an offlaner who's capable of being ganked pretty easily. So Hunter X is going to have to be careful he doesn't get Zul'jinned in this match. Welcome back, Icon.
Yes, a bluey pillow did not make me fall down the steps. Not at all.
So, in the bot lane here, most melee bot laners do not love going up against ranged characters. So Raka here is going to play pretty carefully against Shank B9, but it looks like once again, 30 seconds to Mosh is going to try and punish Zul'jin for stepping up so far. They're just waiting for the Diablo to come in. In the top lane, Andrade and Oraluna looking to see, but here they go. They jump on Shank B9. Diablo flips over. He's down. And do you think picking Zul'jin as the offlaner was just too much of a risk, Icon?
I'm thinking that if they can do what they want to do, because I don't think that their plan is fully inactive yet. Their plan is going to be late game. They're playing for the late game. Look at how much backline damage they have between Tassadar, Greymane, and Zul'jin. As long as he doesn't die too many times in this bot lane, it could be worth it.
They did see the bottom siege camp because he's died a couple of times, but on the flip side, they do have their bruiser camp pushing mid, and they're doing pretty solid damage to that gate. There's a slight level lead, probably mostly due to the Zul'jin kills on 30 seconds to Mosh. And now it looks like Greymane is going to be down here to help Zul'jin get this. Now, the other downside to Zul'jin being the off lane is he's not going to stack as much. Now, in his most recent update, he can only stack up to 50 times. So it could be that they don't see as much value having him in the 4-man stacking on heroes. But it already was pretty tough to hit 50 stacks by 20, so we'll be seeing if he gets that value this game.
Nazebo just crossed 50 stacks on his voodoo ritual.
Okay, so he's doing well. Now, not very much on the chill stacks for Jaina, unfortunately. And with the way this game is rotating, it might be a little tough for her to get to Ice Block, and that's just really important as a Jaina player, especially with Lucio Muradin able to kind of jump on you. You want to make sure that you can kind of stop major CCs like a Haymaker if that were to be picked in this game.
So we do have a 4v4 in mid here.
They're going to put the stun on Greymane, but Lucio with the boop, and we don't see any continued brawl there. Just going to be the camp pushing forward. Jaina coming in. There's the stun, and oh! Zul'jin put his health down to get more damage. Are they going to be able to get to him? No, the Jaina Q comes through, and that's the third time that we've seen a death for Zul'jin this game. He's the only one who has died, and that's going to put our blue team, 30 seconds to Mosh, at level 7 first. Andrade taking a lot of damage. He's taking the spiders. He goes down. And with those early 7s, 30 seconds to Mosh is trying to force Yavapai out of this match and out of this mid lane. Again, we're seeing fairly ordinary Skullcracker. So we're seeing fairly ordinary. Again, I'm not sure what an ordinary Zul'jin offlane build looks like, but we're probably seeing it, since he's the only one who does it.
There's a talent pickup on Blaze. Nanomachine coding is going to play a big role in this game. Slowing down Greymane and Zul'jin's attack speed is going to be big in coming to negate that auto attack damage.
So the blue side has managed to get enough spider butts turned in so that the web weavers come and fire their purple goo all over the map. They get really mad when you pay them in spider butts, so that's why they come around and destroy things. Why did you murder all my children is usually their first question. But their answer to infanticide is ripping down structures. Now this top lane one is going down really quickly. In the bot lane, it doesn't look like Zul'jin's going to be able to do very much to stop that, and the mid one is just getting free damage on this gate with a decent-sized minion wave. Now the top one has gone down and did not get a lot of value.
They're looking to engage on mid. Three people from the blue team.
Tassar does get stunned, and that looks like Lucio grabbed, but he manages to wall ride his way to safety, and he is still alive. Bot lane has been destroyed. And they're going to chase down this Zul'jin again. And unfortunately, he's starting to show why immobile auto attackers are not the first choice for most offlaners. So already 97 stacks at 6 minutes for this Nazeebo. He's really paying attention and keeping up with it. Again, not huge stacks on the Jaina, but there hasn't been much. She's been more helping out Blaze in the bot lane instead of stacking blizzards on the enemy team. The blue doesn't have enough for a full turn in now, but they're really controlling the bottom section of the map. Of course, there's no tap here anymore. There's 24 gems for Nazeebo. He's going to go even further with it.
They're looking at boss.
Jumping on the boss early, and this is risky.
Nazeebo showed and ran into the boss. They are looking to leave.
Now they're looking to bait.
The bait.
They grab Murra, but he jumps right out. A good wall by Tassadar forces this fight. Anduin with a great pull on the Diablo.
The fight's effectively over. Diablo is a minion essentially right now. He's looking to heal back up, and then they can. Yeah, nothing's gonna come of this right now unless they look to engage right here. Lucio?
The jump on Lucio, but I think Diablo... Oh, but he throws the fire breath out, but there's no follow-up. The team was fighting the siege camp. They do grab Andrade, who has to pop Avatar. He gets stunned by Blaze, and another kill. It's 6 kills to 0 for 30 seconds to Mosh. It just seems like the red team stuck around a little too long. Diablo started that fight, and if they had just walked away with the damage not following up... They don't lose anybody. However, they did manage to get a turn-in during that time. So now their own web weavers are going to come out. Now, unfortunately, the one at Zul'jin is going to spawn really close to them. Another grab, and that's Lucio. Lucio trying too hard to get some value in this game to make the big plays, and he gets stunned out and killed.
Yeah, Lucio can unfortunately not cleanse himself.
It's hard to high-five yourself and not look like a huge loser. So, the web weavers in top and mid have been destroyed, and here comes the bottom web weaver, firing that purpley web out her butt. So looking at the kills, looking at this 2-level lead that they've just hit 13, Icon, what do you think Yavapai needs to do to get back into this game?
They need to play for their win con. They need to play for the late game team fight. They need to understand that the other team is also a late game team fight game with Nazeebo. They need to stall this game, slow it down, and just let the map come to them. Sacrifice everything until level 20, and then try to take a fight with the Greymane, Tassadar, and Zul'jin, and win that fight decisively.
Now, it looks like the blue team's really split, and Yavapai wants to come in on that, but oh my goodness, those toads did unbelievable damage. Diablo looking like he wants to do more damage, and he shoots at the fire breath. Greymane barely getting out. Galactos goes down. Lucio is dead, and they're chasing the Tassadar and the Muradin. And it looks like Tassadar goes down as well. A great charge by Farfadnugan.
Yeah, one Greymane went in for that kill and the Anduin pool came out, they needed to disengage and say fight is over. That did not happen, and they are now going to pay the price again for it.
So Jaina's here pushing the bot lane, already getting damage on that keep wall as the Web Weavers descend, and that's another advantage that 30 Seconds to Mosh have. All the lanes are pushed up, which means all of their Web Weavers are in dangerous situations for Yavapai to deal with. In the mid lane, it's not even being contested. The top lane, red is coming in. They're going to look to destroy this, but they're not going to be able to save it, and if they stay too long, they might get jumped on.
No, all their outers are now gone.
Farfanukin takes a fair amount of damage, but again, the wall comes up behind them, and that almost gives Diablo free. A great stun by Raka and Blaze, and it looks like Tassadar going to go down. Is he able to be healed enough by Lucio? He stays alive. And now it's a 5v3 plus Web Weaver, as Murden goes mid to clear, and Zul'jin's still trying to...
Greymane just got insta-gibbed.
And this is becoming a real problem, is the CC they can stack up when they're together and some pretty good Nazeebo walls. That's not something you can cleanse out of, is a Nazeebo wall. So it does seem like Lucio is struggling a bit to keep up with what they're able to do. Guillotine comes out. That's a lot of damage on Raka, but Light Bomb comes out. But she pops... I didn't know that interaction worked that way. She popped into the bunker, and the light never went out. Another Fire Breath, and that is the end of Lucio. Looks like it's going to be the end of Zul'jin as well. He dies. Murden jumps out, and Tassadar is just trying to stay alive, but grab... Oh my goodness! Diablo, the character model, turned around to auto Greymane, and that saved Tassadar's life. I think she had 19 hit points left on that play. The blue team will disengage after taking a keep, and they're going straight for boss. Now, the death timers are not that long at this point, but they do have a 3-level lead. So, it's curious to see if the red team is willing to even try to contest this.
I think red team needs to just sacrifice this boss. Do not contest, just do what they're doing, get all the lanes back in their favor, or at least let the minion pack speed come to them.
Born to shine with little oopsie there, getting stunned and then slapped around by the boss. Okay, we got 183 stacks now, so Nazeebo will be guaranteed his vial infections at 20. There still have been no kills for Yavapai. The kills are 12-0, and that's why there's a 3-level lead on the side of 30 Seconds to Mosh, who have basically become... They're just in full control of this map now. There's really nowhere red can feel like they can safely go, and they're forced to deal with this boss because they don't have a keep.
I think that Yavapai, the red team, needs to take full advantage of the fact that they are approaching 16. Once they get 16, Diablo, no matter what level he is, with Burst Bullet, Guillotine, and Tassadar, they can delete him. They need to front to back these fights.
The Gargantuan is brought in, but goes down fairly quickly. Diablo is just tanking that and trying to keep... uses he... Raka takes big damage, and the Deacon goes out, but she'd already used Bunker. Diablo jumps in, and Tassadar is killed by Jaina. The Fire Breath kills Zul'jin. Galactos on Lucio very, very low. Murden trying to delay them, but the Web Weavers are here, and they're going to take out this core. They jump on Greymane, but Anduin kind of trolls his Diablo and pulls him back, as there's nothing Yavapai can do. With a 3-level disadvantage and Web Weavers on the core, this game's over. Game 1 goes to 30 Seconds to Mosh.
If you were Yavapai, how would you redo this fight? I mean, how would you redo this this map?
I don't pick Zul'jin in the offlane.
with the same comp.
I'm going to go over the game summary really quickly here. We have no deaths on 30 Seconds to Mosh, but a lot of damage on Nazeebo. Really well done there. But Diablo having almost as much damage as Nazeebo, which is incredible. For Yavapai, we've got 45,000 damage on Tassadar. Lots of good poke, but just not much value on the Zul'jin. His soak numbers much lower than Nazeebo or Blaze. Just really struggling to get value, and they didn't get a single building out of it. I think at some point they had to switch someone else, maybe Tassadar, into the offlane and let Zul'jin be in the 4-man once it became clear that 30 Seconds to Mosh was going to do this. Icon is a bit quieter than you are. That's probably for the best, if we're being honest.
I think they needed to play more to their team comp. They needed to understand sooner that Diablo steps up, Diablo takes free damage. Diablo backs away, we basically win that trade. That never seemed to happen. Um, I do agree with maybe Tassadar should have been in the bot lane soaking the lane because he can clear it a lot faster and then back up, play the goalie role a lot better than Zul'jin could have. Also, Zul'jin won stacks. He had nobody to stack off of. So he should have been in the 4-man. But that's hindsight.
We've been invited to Game 2, which will be on Volskaya Foundry. Well, we got Hokalele in chat. I just realized she's on the board. I've not been anywhere near as respectful to her as I need to be. Also, as an observer command, if you want to see the same screen I'm seeing as if we have an observer, you can press, I believe is it Control F? Let's see, F7. No, Control F6 would put you on my camera. Icon sounds very quiet now for some reason. I tried turning him up on the audio input. I can actually turn him up in Discord as well to try to make it clear for you guys to hear. It doesn't make much sense. Oh no, he's at 200%. I can't turn him up any further.
Is it on my end? I did have to get up and go make the kids happy with some milk.
You might have to speak up.
I did have to get up and go make the kids happy, and my headset, if anybody has known me, my daughter likes to pull on it, so it's like hanging together with duct tape, so maybe the wire is wrong. Can you hear me, Umster?
I heard you. But I'm also typing to the folks in the lobby here.
Okay, that's fine. I would really like to see Yavapai focus more on poking out the tank this game. Because Diablo walked all over them. Diablo was able to do whatever Diablo wanted to do. And they had the tools to deal with it. They just chose not to. I don't know if you agree with that assessment, but that's what I saw.
I guess yes and no.
Explain.
So the problem is they had a lot of squishy characters, and by the time Diablo stunned someone into a wall and flipped them, they had already taken so much damage that even trying to chunk out the Diablo, like they would try to hit the Diablo, and then Tassadar was even dropping walls behind Diablo. But by the time they had focused on trying to get Diablo, they'd already taken so much damage that they either had to reverse or lose someone else. Like they would have already lost the first target, and they were already losing a second character by that point. I think that 30 Seconds to Mosh kind of outscaled and outleveled them really quickly with the kills on Zul'jin.
Yes.
If I'm that same team, again, I swap Tassadar and Zul'jin once it's clear that's not working very well. But what I probably also do is focus more on the map, and focus more on calls, on camps, and on trying to delay rotates with Muradin because he's safe, and then just soaking. Especially when you fall behind, just soak.
Yes. It does not matter if you need to give up, and just sit behind your gate. Just get that soak and do not die. Because if you get the soak and then you die, you have negated the fact that you picked up the soak to begin with. It still is a very interesting comp. Because I believe I believe you are correct. If you swap the Tassadar into the offlane and have him play the goalie role, the triple backline at the end of the game, if you're on the same talent tier, if you're on the same level, you can turn fights very quickly. what are you expecting to see here on Sky Foundry? Another Stukov ban. Homester? And we bring out another Samora ban. This map, I can understand it. It'd be very annoying. Another Leoric ban. And the tennis ban. So nothing has changed ban-wise. Homester, are you there? Or did you...
I probably muted myself at some point. I've been talking this whole time. Good thing we had a co-caster to keep you guys entertained. I think I muted to cough and then forgot to turn myself back on. So exactly the same bands. We're here on Sky Foundry. We're looking for, things that can control the point. Things like a Gazlo, a Sonya. Hanzo can get a lot of W value off walls. And Johanna, the first pick, excellent pick in general. Even better pick on this map. When people are forced to walk into your shield glares, forced to walk into your condemn, that brings you value. And to win first pick again, and some great pulls by Born to Shine last game.
They're going to make sure they have more CC to follow up, or else it's going to be a rinse and repeat.
Now, Nazebo's an interesting pick because I would say, even more than last map, code build is great on this map. Again, when your opponent is forced to be near you, come in close to you, what are they going to do? How are they going to dodge toads, especially once you get the 5 toads on that little spot? It's just going to be tricky. Now, Johanna helps, but she doesn't have the biggest hitbox in the world for a tank.
I like the Brightwing.
Brightwing, Gul'dan.
Like Gul'dan here.
Yeah, both these teams are picking characters that are really good at kind of a close quarters team fight. I don't love Brightwing for the control. Now, if she goes Emerald Wind, that might give them a little more opportunity. Johanna and Gul'dan are going to be far apart, though, which means Brightwing's ability to heal them both is going to be restricted. And we're going to see another ban here from 30 Seconds to Mosh. They banned Phoenix. They've got to know something we don't. Or they're just having fun, which is also crazy. Heroes of the Storm being fun.
I honestly think that the Phoenix in the right hands can be god tier. So
But IE isn't in this game, Icon.
I understand that he's not in this game. I'm just saying that in the right hands, Phoenix can be god tier. And if they know something we don't, ban it.
And Sylvanas, the exact same bans. There's things Yavapai just don't like, or there's things they know the other team is excellent on, and they're not taking any chances. So we got 3 picks left. We got the offlaner, the tank, and last time they left the captain's pick last. But no, the captain says Jaina worked and Blaze worked. They're going to go back. So far, this is the exact same draft for Volsky, and you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I see a big problem in the fact that if their main damage is Gul'dan, and Nazebo can get spell power reduction or spell shield armor or whatever it is on 13, and if they take Diablo again with the spell shield on level 1, they're going to rely mainly on this Vala here to do all their Vala hammer.
So this time the hammer wasn't banned. A hammer in the offlane has the potential to have a lot more value than the Zul'jin did, especially if they go with the Unstoppable at 4.
I think you need to put the Gul'dan in the offlane here.
Well, it's Shank B9 on the hammer. I think hammer is a little bit safer because they can literally stay behind their wall to clear. And Mei is the tank this time. Now, Mei's ability with her W, with Ice Wall or Snowball, will give them control.
Are you not showing the draft screen?
Haha, I forgot to show the draft screen. Really quickly, guys, in the last 6 seconds, here's the draft screen. Here's all the characters that were picked. And when I'm busy flipping things around in stream, usually on the caster overlay, I sometimes forget to flip my scene. Thank you for letting me know, Hoku. Sorry it was so late. But we are going to go to in-game, and I am going to click that one properly.
So what your prediction for who do you think's going to win here?
Again, I think there's no front line besides Johanna, and while she has more peel than Muradin, I gotta go with they picked almost the same draft.
Burden.
I
You
think
mean,
I think
May?
no Muradin. Or sorry, no, the Johanna instead of the Muradin from last time for
Okay.
Yavapai. But we're gonna do our introductions here. I'll do the first ones, and then I'll give it over to Icon to do the left. On the right, on the left we have the blue team. 30 seconds to Mosh. Anduin playing is played by Born to Shine. Raka is on Blaze. The Captain on Jaina. Hunter X playing Nazebo, and Farfet Nugan on May.
And introducing the right side, the red team is Johanna being played by Andrade, Sergeant Hammer being played by Shank Beef9, Gul'dan being played by Sarah Linene.
Linee, let's go with.
And Vala being played by Ara Luna, taking the Q quest, and Brightwing being played by Galactos.
So we got 2 Q quests with Vala and Gul'dan. We're also seeing this time it's Things of the Deep for Nazebo. He didn't go Toads, which surprises me a little.
I do like the Things of the Deep. It gives him the range to hit the hammer, to hit the backline, the triple backline yet again. It is a Pursuit of Flame on Gul'dan.
And instead of double blinds, it is Laws of Hope on Johanna. Now, this talent was buffed recently, so they may have found some value in it as opposed to the double blind build. Rock on Blaze is going to struggle a little bit with the hammer. The hammer is going to be able to output a lot of damage, even with the stun, especially if she takes the Unstoppable at 4. That's going to make Blaze's life not impossible, but annoying.
I think this is yet again a Shank B9 game where they need to recognize their bot lane win condition, and it is you do not win, you soak.
So we have no Qs so far on Vala, and if they continue to do this opposite rotate, which blue team has been happy to do, Vala's not going to get many stacks this game, except for on the... And honestly, the first 1 or 2 Volskaya Protectors don't really do that much. If I'm 30 seconds to Mosh and I haven't clearly won a team fight before the point, I'm tempted to just push really hard. Ignore the point, don't give Vala and Gul'dan stacks, take something of value somewhere else.
Okay, hammer build, it is Regenerative Biosteel.
So
we
it
have
is, so
full-on
it is.
Slush Ball from May.
It's been pretty even in the bot lane here. Shank's taking some damage, but it's not too bad.
We do have about a quarter to a half level lead on the side of red team, which is nice because I want to see what they can do on even tiers, on even levels.
Absolutely. So we've got 50 stacks on Nazebo already. It seems like Hunter X is very comfortable in Nazebo. He doesn't seem to let a single minion go by without having a tick of poison on it. Now they attempt to grab, again, so much better than Zul'jin in the offlane. They attempt to gank the hammer with both Jaina and May. They bring the Cold Sisters down, but he must have heating in that tank because he is not phased.
Galactos picking up Unstable Anomaly on Brightwing, looking to follow up with some max HP damage.
Larvat Nugan completely alone here, and it seems odd. Now, this is an interesting decision again. Clearing the camp, sending their own camp, and then looking to rotate, which gives them priority in the top lane. It doesn't look like Nazebo is rotating. Oh, here he comes. So, Larvat Nugan...
Levels have stabilized. We are even levels again.
When they clear this wave, they might hit 7 first, but again, in the bot lane, it looks like it's basically the opposite. And Andrade just using that Johanna's presence, not even using CC, but using the threat of the CC to keep 30 seconds to Mosh out of it. But they're backing off.
Gul'dan is going top to get to clean the wave. And this is smart. They can afford to back off for a few seconds, let Gul'dan take the wave.
A blind from May, and lots of damage onto that Johanna, but she walks out safely. The Nazebo wall, now, there's the cleanse by Brightwing. Andrade still walking in. Araluna finally getting stacks. 6 stacks on her Q quest. And a W onto 4 members of 30 Seconds to Month. Farfetch Nugan is taking a lot of damage. He might not be able to continue to sustain through what this hammer is doing. Andrade takes a lot of damage, but still has the unstoppable. Stays alive. There's the blind on the hammer. Is Gul'dan going to go down? Gul'dan is dead to Nazebo. They dropped the turret, but they're outnumbered now. Now, Aval is still looking healthy. So is the hammer. But without Gul'dan, their throughput is shortened a little.
They have a huge lead. There's no need to force this when you're down 4v5 right now.
A blind on 3 plus the W locked in, and it looks like Brightwing is going to die. Andrade trying to peel, but there's only so much you can do. Farfetch Nugan getting really low as well, though. This team's Rocket trying to force it. Steps on the flames, but takes a Q, and the damage throughput is actually very good with 2. Now, that's one thing this team does have a lot of. Throughput between... Gul'dan is probably one of the best mages for throughput damage, and 2 auto-attackers, including basically an AoE auto. Rock is dead, and the first protector is going to go to Yavapai. They actually have a lot of non-stop damage.
4v5! Gul'dan died, and they continued to fight. And then Gul'dan showed back up, and Blaze finally died. You're right. Gul'dan does do a lot of throughput, but dead damage does no damage.
But they have a lot of damage from their other 2 main characters, and Farfetch Nugan had taken a lot of damage before that fight started. And it meant they kind of had to dance around, and in the end, they made the wrong step in that dance. So Johanna and Vala are in the Protector at the moment. They're taking out this top lane wall.
Any long team fight is going to go the way of red team, in my opinion. They just have so much sustained damage between the Gul'dan, the hammer, and the Vala.
Well, and this time they have a lot less point-and-click CC. Last time it was Diablo and Blaze, and now Blaze is fairly alone in the CC unless the Mei W actually locks someone down. And until we get the Jaina lockdown at 16, if she takes that with the E, we're probably not going to see reliable roots or
stuns. Hit level 10 at the same time? Are we going to see anything spicy?
We've got Horrify, Napalm Strike, Rain of Vengeance, Blink Heal. Johanna hasn't yet picked her ultimate, and to be fair, either one would be fine. She does go Blessed. Light Bomb for the Anduin, Bunker,
we have Gargantuan,
Welly, Gargantuan, and Ice Wall.
I love me some Gary play, especially on this map. You can just set it and forget it, and he can get so much value.
I think
point fights.
It offers a lot of siege value. It offers
that too.
Less team fight value, but it does kind of offer a warm body to stand in the way. But again, with as much kind of AoE throughput as exists on Yavapai, Gargantuan may actually have a little less value, but between Rain of Vengeance and Johanna, there's lots of ways to disrupt the spirit of vengeance, I think it is. So... Oh, the Ice Wall comes out. Doesn't lock anyone down, but it does split the team up. And they're going to try and steal this healing beacon. But Johanna is not having it. The Light Bomb comes down. A big silence. And the Horrify comes down as well. That's Anduin dead. And they're going to try and kill. That's the end of Mei also. Yavapai looking good with this high damage comp. And Hammer's not even there.
Have so much point control. Any type of point they fight over, if they commit as a 5, I don't see them losing.
Yeah, between the Horrify, the Blessed Shield, and then just Johanna's overall AoE abilities, they keep this up. We're looking at a Game 3, and who doesn't love a 3-game series? Toads come out. Now, Things of the Deep finished long ago, so that's a 10% boost to the damage for Nazebo. He's at 137, so once again, he will be completely finished by level 20, barring catastrophe. So late in the game, he and Hammer are going to be basically dueling crazy damage characters. But Hunter looking to get caught out. The Rain of Vengeance comes down. They're going to try and lock him down. The Gul'dan AoE is too much, and even with the Ice Wall, they are not able to save.
30 seconds to Mosh respond to this.
I think
What
30
is
Seconds to
NGS
Mosh
doing?
does need to find a pick somewhere. Last time they really helped Rocka gain control over the offlane, and while it's harder this time, they either need to commit to doing that, or they need to commit on who has to die first, and it has to be a damage character, and it not Hammer. They have to kill the Gul'dan or the Vala very early on, and I actually think Vala is the priority in this. At the more she stacks, the more of a priority she is. Although Gul'dan has done his, and Vala still only has 12 Q stacks. She's just not hitting people with it.
Yes, but she doesn't need to. They have a triple backline. She is not the whole damage carry. She is there for everything else that she provides.
She gave up she gave up value on other talents to take that one, and so you kind of want to see her get something out of it. There's the Unstoppable popped on Johanna, and the turret is down, so blue team is going to fight them. The Ice Wall comes down and hits 3! The stun, it's going to happen on both gliders. The fear goes down, but it doesn't really stop what's happening here. The blind goes out. They drop the heal beacon. Gargantuan comes out and does absolutely nothing with the amount of damage exists. The shield comes out, hits 3. Farfet Nugan's getting very low on that Mei. Now this double mage comp... This double mage comp is struggling a little into this non-stop... Another W from Mei, but she's taking so much damage between the Gul'dan and the Vala. And without a front line, 30 Seconds to Mosh has nothing they can do.
Blaze needs to rotate into these fights, and Blaze needs to affect these fights from a back angle with nanomachine coating. Throw the oil on the auto attackers and do not light it. Slow their auto attack speed, slow their movement, get on them and delete the character. I almost said bitch. I did say bitch. Shit.
We're family friendly in here, Icon. So again, they managed to push 30 Seconds to Mosh out of this fight. There is the Ice Wall. Are they going to try and get... Even if they do, I mean, Rocka's going to go down here. The Light Bomb doesn't go off because Rocka dies. Welly is out, but Welly's just going to die too. And this constant damage comp is so oppressive. Right now, it doesn't seem like 30 Seconds to Mosh has the answer to this. And part of it, I think, was taking Mei for the blinds. Blinds is not enough to stop this team from doing damage.
They needed the Diablo, the Muradin. They needed some type of hard initiation on one of the targets and to delete the target. And I don't know how they're going to do it with this.
They're going to lose both the top and the middle fort. Mei is trying to jump over here.
On the Zebo? Nope. Oh, he dodged. He dodged the laser.
In the bot lane, we've got a bit of a mini scrap between Mei and Hammer, but we already know who wins that one. The gate is taking a lot of damage here at the middle of fort, or middle keep it is. And Sarah Linney's Gul'dan looking good. So this time, almost no deaths. And they're at 16 first. Yavapai going from down 12-0 in kills. They're chasing down the Nazebo, and they get him. He dies too. They're 16 first.
Huge power spike with mechanical know-how, rampant hellfire, and Manticore online for their triple backline damage.
Looking at the hero damage stats, Control 2 if you're interested in those. 55,000 hero damage from the Hammer, 37,000 from Gul'dan, 39,000 from Vala. The highest on 30 Seconds to Mosh, 22,000. Their highest damage isn't close. He's half as much as the lowest of the 3 damage dealers. From Yavapai. Yavapai is...
Hammer hasn't been in half these fights. I smell a Hammer ban.
I think you're right. It was banned in Game 1, and I think we'll see it banned again in Game 3. So Blue Team doing what they need to do now, moving as a group, taking camps, trying to find value and experience where they can. They are in the same talent tier, but they've also gotten almost no value. Last game, Born to Shine looked pretty good on the end one, but this game, it seems like there's some struggles when there's a lot of pressure on her teammates. I don't think we've seen a pull yet that I've really thought, wow, great pull.
We need some type of sneaky engage, some type of Mei and Blaze flank from the back. We need something that 30 Seconds to Mosh can surprise one of the backliners and turn this into a 5v4. If that doesn't happen, this is just going to be more of the same.
It looks like they're going to try and jump on Hammer in the bot lane, but she just dodges the Ice Wall and the Blizzard. Yeah, they get the blind, but even with 4 characters, And a rune. I mean, they can't kill this hammer.
They're trading a fort front wall for a keep.
The fear goes down on Nazebo. He gets Raid of Vengeance. He's getting blasted from every angle, and he's 100% going to die. Andrade tanks that, but that's what Johanna's really good at. Johanna can tank that fort or that keep all day. And so blue team, they're going to rotate in. CloneWar bringing it back in game 2. Absolutely, Travis Party. They are serious. This hammer pick has made all the difference. I would say the kind of the main four have been better. Not amazing, but better. This hammer pick has changed the entire complexity of this set. They are not going to let it get through in game 3.
The hammer is doing what the little Jin cannot.
Staying safe.
Yes, exactly. And that's sometimes all it takes.
0 deaths on that. Raka looks like she's going to go down too. Oh, uses the bunker to cancel out the Gul'dan damage over time. Very clever. And the bot lane fort's going to go down too, so now there's going to be catapult pressure in every lane against 30 seconds to Mosh. And their top keep, half health.
The way they are playing this hammer, if they do not ban it in the first or second phase, I would be confident as Yavapai as picking it in my first pick slot. It is having that much of an effect on the game for them.
I think the Mei was a response to it, but again, it's a little bit of a noob trap to think blinds stop the throughput of auto attackers. It mitigates it, it does not stop it. And I do think hard CC, even something like a Garrosh with Unstoppable, could have brought a lot more value than the Mei is bringing. And I like Mei as a tank. She's not the answer in this game.
The blinds are a band-aid to the problem. What they needed was hard CC, dead DPS, do no DPS.
So I'm going to interrupt you quickly here. We have 20s now for Yavapai. We've got the shield upgrade for Johanna. We have the Broken Talent Ultra Capacitors for Hammer. Demonic Circle for Gul'dan, pretty standard. Farflight Quiver, again, standard. And Invisible Friends. Blue team is not going to try and contest this bottom point because they need to hit 20. They need that Nazebo damage to have a prayer. But they're all backing. They're a full level behind and they're backing. They have to defend. Yavapai is not giving them the opportunity to hit 20. And this could spell the end of the game, Icon.
I can't spell the end of the game because I am illiterate. But, that was a very bad dad joke. I don't know how they beat this. They need to dive past the Protector right now. They need to dive past the Protector and kill one of the backline. That's the only way. That's the only chance they have. They need to take the pre-20 fight. I understand it is wrong in every textbook, but this is what you have to do.
I think I might disagree here. They have to do what they're doing. Stay safe, melt the Protector, hope that this camp can get the top lane, and hit 20, and then hope as the chaos of the Protector breaking down, they can get a pick. But they haven't been able to. Their CC is unreliable this game. Everyone's crowd control has to hit. And that can be hard to do. Now, Yavapai not content to leave without taking. Farfetnu can take so much damage, and the shield... Yeah.
That might be game. Oh, they're up.
That's a really good E there by Anduin, but no, Yavapai is saying, we want this over now. This game is over. Johanna trying to walk in. Now, a lot of damage there on the Johanna, but uses the Unstoppable. Brightwing is just keeping the backline. I think Johanna said to them, don't bother healing me. Keep the backline up. We win every fight. And it's been true. Why heal the tank when all she has to do is keep them from stepping up? Mei is not up for another 28 seconds. They finally got in their 20s, but it feels like too little too late. And that's Nazebo.
Nazebo dead, but up Andrade with the shield. Okay, he doesn't have
He doesn't have the passive, the Indomitable.
No, the Indomitable. I was drawing a blank for the wording. But this is just game right here. I mean,
there's just really nothing they can do. Now, there's an attempt at light, but again, Hammer just pushes him back. All the tools they needed to win this one. We're going to see game 3, guys. The core is at 45%. Raka's diving in. Mei is attempting to desperately end it. But there's the Brightwing teleport. They're still alive. 32% on the keep. I don't think Red Team's done yet. I think they're just taking a breath to get a few more Brightwing heals.
They're about to have more minions coming from the mid, and this is still game.
15%, 10%, 5%, and that's game.
Okay.
GG. This series is tied at 1. Good game, Yavapai.
If Hammer is not banned in the first or second ban phase, in the first or second slot, I would first pick the Hammer, just to put him in that predicament again.
Game 2 goes to Yavapai. Here's the game summary for those of you who'd like to see more about the damage. I can also show talents. Nazebo showing a lot, but again, his immobility costing him 4 deaths. And this time, Sergeant Hammer with an incredible XP contribution, damage Hammer did 3 times as much as Nazebo. Gul'dan did twice as much as not quite, but you get the point. They're 3 damage dealers because they protected themselves. They didn't protect themselves with tanky CC. They protected themselves with overwhelming damage.
It was not anything that 30 Seconds of Mosh did wrong, except they could not step onto a point to save their life. Literally, they step onto the point, they get chunked down, they back up, and now it's just death by 1,000 needles. You step up, you get chunked, you have to back up. They needed some type of flank to split the team, and even that is risky with only who can do that. Blaze, May, Blaze coming from like a flank at the same exact time. I mean, you're dealing in like hyper ideals here, wishes, dreams.
We've got a 3-game series. I hope everyone is excited as I am to see where this goes.
Super excited. Both teams put the other team down multiple levels. I would like to see an even 20 to 20 team fight, and let's just see who wins.
Well, I think that's now on one point. I think this is kind of how Div E can work. When you're a lower level character, it's always easier to play when you're up. It's often harder to find how to get back into a game when you're down. So
I agree.
finding teams that can get back into the game, you see it more frequently at higher levels where teams are more capable of punishing mistakes or even setting up mistakes for a team that's ahead. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, one team took control of the game early in game 1. That was 30 seconds to Mosh. One team, and then in the second game, Yavapai took over when it became all about the
protector
point
point.
for the first protector, and that was as weird as to say that was game there. After that, it never was close again. I don't think they. Well, I think they got the top point once, but it was just for a moment. They never really had a chance again in that game. So yeah, I think they're gonna try and make sure that Shank's favorite picks. It seems like he likes Samuro. Seems like he likes Artanis, and
Hammer. So in a way, he's
Hammer.
putting them in a position where they need to pick their poison. And I don't think they're going to see. I don't think if let's see what the map is, but I don't think we're going to see a Hammer ban.
And I really don't
I,
love
I
poison.
I don't think we're going to see a Hammer ban in slot 1-2. And I think they're going to say, Shank, if you want the Hammer again, put it on the table. Just whip it out and put it on the table.
So we're just waiting for the next lobby to pop up.
This has been an
Also,
interesting set.
it looks like my scene hasn't changed this time. I can never tell when it's behaving and when it's not. Caster info is populated on the Discord. I actually don't know how that works.
Uh,
Raka's talking to us on
we gotta give him credit. Okay.
yeah. I just don't know what populating on. Anyway, that's not relevant to the stream. um. So yeah, we wait for game 3. It could be people need to take a bit of a bathroom break or lots can happen, but we're just waiting
I'm
on a Game 3
excited.
here.
I am super excited to see how this game 3 goes because I would like to see dive heroes being played by these teams. I would like to see some hard CC chains going on, such as what we saw in the first game from 30 Seconds to Mosh. I think that could put a real. I mean, we saw it put a real kink in their triple backline strategy because I don't see Yavapai getting away from it. They're going to run, especially now that they had the results they had in game 2.
Well, and I think Shanks just likes to play mind games. I mean, as an offlane main myself, when they pick a character you can't really walk into, that can really be frustrating. And I think Rocka has a hard time when the off. I mean, I think any offlaner has a hard time when you force them to be frustrated. Game 3 is going to be on Garden of Error, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever else we may have in the...
This is going to be interesting. It is neither it is a macro map in its truest sense, and it is a point control map in its truest sense too.
This game gives a lot of opportunities for macro, which in my opinion gives a lot of opportunities to come back into the game. Excuse me. If you get behind, you can take your camps. You can split the map either left, right, but you can also split your camps top, bottom, if necessary.
I am. So before we see the draft, before we see anything, do you have an inkling which way you're leaning? Which way?
I think it all depends on the Shanks mind games. I think that's what this team is built around, is can Shanks throw the other offlaner off their game? I think if he pulls something out that they can't handle, Yavapai will win.
I
But
think Yavapai's mind games are nice, but I actually really like Farfignugan and Rocka's frontline.
I think they win
think
if they don't get rattled by
if they
whatever
find
Shanks
picks.
brings. But I think
If they find picks.
so, it's a skill matchup. It's anyone's game.
I agree, and I'm excited to be here.
I haven't got anything enabled in chat yet to kind of use like channel points to bet on who's gonna win, but hopefully someday.
Oh, okay. Maybe Sunday.
Maybe on Sunday. Sunday. Hoping to cast again on Thursday, guys. Cast another Div E game. A team I used to play on. So,
Who's
you
that?
know, we'll try to
Who
give
did
some...
you play on
I used to
Div
play
E?
for Rage, really aggro ghoul elites.
I used to play on Banana Num Nums in Div E.
So,
That was
you'll
during
get
the
to see
NGS
where I
days.
started and finished. Yavapai has called ready. The casters have called ready. And it seems like 30 Seconds to Mosh has decided to go to bed. I'm just kidding. They're putting the finishing touches on their draft strat, and I'm sure we'll be popping into draft momentarily. Okay.
What is your feelings on spinach and artichoke dip? Because I just ate 2 containers of it.
Spinach and artichoke deep, did you say?
Deep. Yes, the deep.
I have no opinion.
Oh my god, it's the best thing ever.
So I remembered to switch it to draft this time. You're welcome, viewers. This is a privilege, I hope you know.
Okay.
So,
Ban?
looks like this map is the pick of Yavapai. The first pick, first ban is going to go to 30 Seconds to Mosh. I think they banned their ordinary 2 bans first.
So then,
because
if everything's normal,
if
everything's
Hammer
normal,
gets picked right away, they can counterpick that with a Ming or a Chromie. So I think they bet Samuro can be really strong on this map, especially with all the abilities to hide and move around. So I still think they ban the Samuro and possibly the Artanis. If they were that worried about them on maps like Dragonshire, I think, or not Dragonshire, Tomb, I think they'll be worried about it here.
Tomorrow? Okay.
As for the other team, I mean, I think you ban Diablo. Farfetnugan shoot, he's really good at it. If you get rid of it, What is he going to do? But they might stick to their Stukov ban as well. It's possible that Born to Shine is Born to Stukov, and I don't want to see it.
I would actually like to see an Anduin ban. Give him some way of securing those kills that they were missing, because okay, there's the Stukov ban. I would much rather deal with Stukov than Anduin any day.
I would have to disagree. A good Stukov putting puddles under your feet is a lot scarier than a root that's pretty easy to see and dodge.
It's not the root that's scary. It's the fact that she can pull a kill away at any point in time.
And the Artanis ban comes out the second time. It feels like we're going to see 3 of the exact same ban phases.
I know it's not going to happen, but I'd love to see Hammer first pick on the side of Yavapai once in their 1-2 slot. The hell, sorry. What if they take it away? They pick the Hammer.
I don't know how much value you get on it in Garden of Terror. It's possible, I just don't think it's one of her best maps.
See, I tend to believe more in people's comforts than... Okay, there's the Anduin.
The early Anduin pick, again, they really are prioritizing getting Born to Shine on this Anduin.
I like it. Anduin, there's nothing you can do wrong with Anduin.
He is a good healer for almost any situation. The Brightwing again. Galactos' Brightwing was strong last game.
There's Brightwing.
Definitely brought more than Lucio in game 1.
Do they take the Johanna again? Yes, they do.
So, looking the same draft for them. Again, why fix what ain't broken? Artanis banned? Yeah, they banned him every game, Hoka. We just do not get to see, you know, the protector of the exemplar of the Templar.
I really don't know much about Shank, but is Shank's Artanis, like, known or something?
I'm guessing. I don't know him either, but... So we've got Tychus and Diablo. Farfetch'd Nugan going back to his really strong pick from game 1, and Tychus is a good answer. And also brings... I would say, especially with Grenade build, can bring a lot to this map specifically.
Is this another Sylvanas ban?
I would have to say yes. Neither one of them changed their ban patterns at all. And I don't think they saw anything last game that would make them worry. Or change a ban. So there's the Sylvanas ban.
Yeah, because Sylvanas Tychus can really push.
I have to assume this is a hammer ban. I don't know why they're waiting.
If this isn't
coming.
a hammer ban, yeah, okay. Okay. You had to take the hammer in the 1-2 slot if you were going to try to get it.
I think I have to assume that Shanks has tried a lot of different stuff. He's comfortable on a lot of different things, considering that's their main ban out. But yeah, I think he showed last game he just doesn't have to worry when he plays hammer. He's that comfortable on it, so...
There's Junkrat Vala.
2 excellent damage dealers. And again, with how narrow a lot of the passages are, Junkrat can provide a ton of value. And Vala gives you the throughput. So, good choices there. But again, both very squishy, along with Brightwing. So if they don't pick something that can mitigate Diablo jumping on squishies for the offlane, this could look a lot like game 1. There's a lot of walls in Garden of Terror. We see Raka's Blaze again. It looked really good in game 1. It couldn't do much in game 2. And Jaina again. So they're sticking to their comfort picks. This is basically game 1's roster.
How do they finish off their draft? Here? I think they need a bruiser. I know they like to play triple backline.
Is Sub-Zero a sub? I don't think Sub-Zero was in the first 2 games.
Sub-Zero is a sub. Well, I don't know if he's a sub or not, if he's main roster or sub, but yes, he was not in the first 2 games.
I'm trying to remember who was in that slot, but my memory is fantastic.
The name I could not pronounce.
What, Sarah Lanino?
No. Lunara, okay. Lunara brings mobility, Lunara brings...
Lunara isn't terrible in the offlane, and she has an opportunity for vision, but she's another very squishy character. If they can't layer their CC almost perfectly, I think Diablo and Blaze could go nuts in this game. Once again, it's gonna come down to, can Shanks rattle Raka's Blaze?
Whereas last game...
So the draft is set, and we're going into game number 3, guys. Here we go.
Yava last game had a lot of auto attack damage. I think now this game, the Vala needs to pump numbers. because last game she had a lot of sustained damage around her that could pump and make the numbers not really matter. He needs to pump numbers for this game.
So, on the left, the team in blue, 30 seconds to Mosh. Once again, for the third time in a row, Born to Shine plays Anduin, and Raka plays Blaze, time number 3, and the captain plays Jaina for the treble. Farfat Nugan is on Diablo, and this time takes Feast on Fear and not the shield. And Sub-Zero coming in on game 3 on Tychus. Icon, if you could do the red team for us.
Okay, and on the red team we have Shank playing Lunara, Johanna being played by Andrade, Brightwing being played by Galactos, Ara Luna is playing Vala, and Sarah Liney is playing Junkrat.
So we've got Q build on Vala,
Glare.
and this time we do have the Zealous Glare build.
Lunara straight to the bot lane.
And this hasn't been unusual for Shanks, often kind of just immediately going to his lane and claiming it. This time Blaze goes top, though.
Okay.
Blaze does not want to face, and on a map this big, you kind of do have the option. Neither one has the quote-unquote easy rotate, so they've decided they want to try and put the 4-man there. Raka's going to be careful, though. The polymorph comes out, but they're not able to do enough damage. That is 2 Q stacks for Vala, however. And Shanks is going to hit the
Wisp talent picked up by Shanks here. It's going to get a lot of value on this map. There are bushes everywhere, and that is what's going to need to be. He's going to need to be on his P's and Q's to keep himself safe.
So really smart play, immediately going for the Bruiser camp. It looks like the red team's actually going to try and take Siege camp first. We'll see if they then head over to Bruiser with the 3 of them. Raka playing incredibly safe now, not knowing where their enemy is on the map. Very good off-lane play. And Sub-Zero also playing patiently.
Yes.
Siege camp comes out. Luna, a decent camp taker. Not the fastest, but with her hippity hop, she just is kind of able... Oh, they're looking for the invade, though. Diablo's here. Junkrat's going to come down to help. Oh, he just backs out. Brightwing also coming down.
Scouting. I don't think he was going to try.
I think he showed to try and scare Lunara off, but
yeah,
it didn't. Nothing came to fruition there. But again, a lot of patience on the side of 30 seconds to Mosh this game. They're not going out past halfway through the lane. They know a Johanna Brightwing gank could spell death, and they are just playing their lanes patiently. Experience is basically tied. There haven't been any deaths in the game. We see into the rhythm, or in the rhythm with Tychus.
Chattering Teeth is online now. That talent is annoying.
Especially on a map like this. So now red team is going to take their Bruiser, and it's going to be helpful for them that it's on the top side while the cap is on the bottom side. And it looks like they're going to have, well, possibly, if Junk clears this, they're going to have Prio in all 3 lanes. And Brightwing can continue to push for now. Diablo isn't close to being full on souls either. So this is going to be a tricky proposition. Fortunately for Junkrat, the minions...
Junkrat, Jaina is almost playing with fire here.
Junkrat traps can be grabbed by the minions around the seats, so he's going to be a little careful. Yeah, there's a lot of low health here. Yeah, and if ARAMs have taught me... Oh, an excellent condemn there. Brightwing coming in on Johanna, but so many low heroes. And again, early on in the game... more damage dealers, if they're not hitting the great Diablo plays, more damage dealers is just going to help Yavapai. It's not going to be easy. That pull is a little late, and that's the end. And Diablo jumps in, but there's nothing he can do without damage characters.
Yeah. The tax that Lunara and Junkrat and Vala are able to put out, they were paying it.
They're gonna
paying the tax.
They're gonna steal the siege camp. So one of the things we see in ARAMs is in the early game, teams without a tank but lots of damage, they do really well because the gap in the health bars isn't as big early in the game. Later in the game, if this game goes to 20 or goes like 25 minutes, I think we see 5v5 team fights.
Do we get the kill? Do we get the kill? Does she have tap?
She doesn't have tap. But the level up might have saved her life. No, she still goes down to the poison tick.
Very well played by Shanks.
He seems very comfortable in this Lunara as well. Let's all pray, everybody, that we don't run into Shanks in Storm League. But his team knows how to play around him very well as well. They just 4-man around, and when he needs to be safe, he plays safe. So the trap is set up around where the seed is going to be spawning.
Are they going to let Brightwing split push this as much as possible and then teleport in?
I think that's normally the plan, and yeah, it's going to continue. Playing kind of like that to Haka there. And the team is full health, so they don't need Brightwing with them at the moment. And the positioning is looking a little better right now for Yavapai than it is for 30 seconds to Mosh.
Their point control is just as annoying as last game.
Oh, so much damage on Raka. He tries the charge, but no, the sidestep by Lunara, and now Raka's getting really, really low. The flip on Galactos.
Raka goes down.
Galactos goes down. So Raka's down.
Galactos goes down. So they did get the counter kill. Counter kill for Bruiser for a healer.
He's taking a lot of damage. Sub-Zero pulled that by Anduin. This time, it was pretty decent. Oh, they're going to try and take out the Lunara, and again, she has such a low health pool, but Diablo's going to pay with his life.
They're going to trade Diablo. They do have Forever Poke on this right now with Junkrat. So they do not have to give up this positioning.
Well, the bigger issue is a Brightwing can probably teleport in, whereas 30 seconds to Mosh, they don't really have an option to do that with their dead character, so they're just going to have to continue to collect as me. Yavapai is going to hit 10 a full level before 30 seconds to Mosh is able to, and we're going to see what their picks are. We've got Rocket Ride for Junkrat, not what we always see. Rain of Vengeance on Vala. I suspect we'll see Blink Heal again on... I'm not really seeing any benefit to the... Yeah, Blink Heal, Blessed Shield, and Thornwood Vine, not the Leap.
I love me some Johanna level 7 Steed Charge. She basically can say, get out of my way, here I come.
Well, on that passive, you don't really think about the passive, but increasing duration of Iron Skin can be useful. Although it usually breaks before it times out. So both teams are going to go for their Bruiser camps.
It's more about the fact that she cannot be dismounted and just run at them.
And so just in time, 30 seconds to Mosh also gets their ultimate abilities. And they're going to chase down this Lunara, and they're putting everything they can into her. This is what they needed to do to have a chance. But are they going to get there in time to stop? No, the stun with the Blessed Shield. This is going to be the third seed collected.
Still, force, get a kill here.
Oraluna gets grabbed, but the rest of the team had peeled off, and so Farfoot Nugan is not able to kill Oraluna. And I think the mid fort is going to go down. There's no one here to defend. Farfoot Nugan is coming, but it's just too slow. Raka's going to push this camp in towards the gate. They might get the gate, but that would be it. It looks like Diablo's going to die. He's caught out. Taken down. He does have his souls, though, so he'll be back in now. And on the top, Brightwing, split pushing that one, and it's still almost full health. I think they get this fort. Especially now with the Junkrat push.
Yes.
That's 2 forts, and even the keep, now they flipped Johanna into it, but the Lightning Breath not quite able to kill. Andrade living on about 120 hit points there. And even the gate goes down. 30 seconds to Mosh in a rough place. They're a full level behind. There's not really anywhere they can feel safe in their jungle. They need to soak, and they need to find another pick on somebody like they did in Lunara, and then immediately decide as a team what they want to do. Their choices on the small map at Tomb were really clean. Their choices on this map have been a little muddied.
Andrade's Blessed Shield to stall out for them to get that last seed was huge. Look how much value they got off of that seed.
Yeah, a lot of value. Absolutely.
One ultimate to stall out for this much value is absurd.
One ult to bring them all and in the darkness bind them. And again, Shanks just continues to push damage onto Raka. Raka stuns back, but again, never going to win that trade. Just having to clear. And the invade on the siege camp. Blue team isn't really sure what they can and cannot do. I think they're going to get this anyway. They're going to put some damage.
They tried to take the fight.
Andrade just walks away. I can't even say I think 30 Seconds to Mosh was rattled by the pick. It just seems like Yavapai found their game. Now, that's not to say 30 Seconds to Mosh can't turn this around. A good fight, and again, the later the game goes, the bigger the health bars get for Blaze and Dahaka, the more dangerous these late game team fights get. For a Junkrat, for a Lunara. So the seed minions are gone.
Look at how much damage Rocket just took.
Oh, but there's the stun and the blizzard, and the light bomb comes out, and that is the end of Lunara. So much damage. Here comes the rocket ride, and Jaina's gonna die. Down she goes. The fire breath comes out. It isn't able to get a kill so far. It's 1 for 1. But they have managed to push them back. The bunker goes down for Raka, and Anduin and Diablo are both attempting to take the seed. Brightwing wasn't able to come in time to find value, and so now 30 Seconds to Mosh have received their first seed. They're going to have to stop these huge minion waves, though. And during all that, another half-level lead. They were a level ahead, now they're about a level and a half ahead. Although once they clear these huge waves, that difference should be gone. But now there's a huge wave pushing bottom, and nobody wants to go down there to deal with it alone.
He has seed charge. He's safe here. Yeah, there you go. Use your seed charge. They should just keep poking this bottom structure until it's gone.
Doesn't look.
Yavapai should.
They're not going to try any kind of gank.
They're not going to try it, but.
And here comes the top lane. They're trying to clear out this bruiser camp, and again, there's not going to be any kind of contest there. So the next seat's going to be on the bottom, in the middle, but kind of more on the side of 30 Seconds to Mosh with this wall here. Good for Diablo. Lunara's going to continue to push and keep a siege camp with them, but Blaze is going to go answer back. It looks like they're going to give this up and just try to kill Lunara. Oh! The Blaze charge misses, but the stun from Diablo, they got her. Is she going to get away? Here comes the Brightwing. Oh, the Flame Breath comes out, but they're both going to escape, and that means a free seed for Yavapai in the bottom and no kill for the top lane.
As one Brightwing player to another, Galactos, I love you, buddy.
So they're going to invade this camp, this siege camp, and take it. But again, the other team's just going to take the one on the other side and go, no big deal. You're the one with the bruiser camp taking your keep gate. They're 16. Unfair Advantage, Holy Renewal, Criterize, Manticore, Endless Nades.
Criterize gives them the power to front to back these fights. If they pop Diablo or Raka, what do they do?
Now Jaina's taken the ability of 13 to give her a little more range, which can be helpful. The double pull might be helpful, but again, we haven't seen any really big pull moments in this game.
And their point pressure just got a whole lot more annoying with Endless Nades.
So sizzling attacks sounds like it could be really nice, but I haven't really seen a fight yet where Tychus was just getting free damage on the Johanna. Andrade's Johanna has been impressive. He knows when to walk in and he knows when to walk out. Raka getting an auto here, trying to threaten the E, but knowing better. Dahaka gets kind of sniffed out by the Vala really quickly, but the fight is getting started. Raka gets polymorph, but here comes the light bomb on one. And Araluna getting breathed on, the fire coming out and doing tons of damage, and they do kill Vala. Captain comes around the back. The fight is in two areas now.
Shanks is fighting.
Shanks is fighting Sub-Zero, and on the other side, it's a 3-on-3. Raka tries to hit Shanks, but misses. Sub-Zero is capping the point. Ooh. The Thornwood Vine comes through and hits 3 people with Toxin. And Johanna's going to try the blind on this side.
They're so low.
Here comes the Rocket Ride. Oh, but stunned out of the Rocket Ride. Farfanugan. Another stun. Andrade, though. They kill Raka. And now they're chasing down the other ones. And this is going to be a cap. After losing the first hero, they get the cap by just having fuller health bars. And
Very
again,
well played by Shanks in that fight. He did not allow Raka to get into the actual fight. He forced her to sit in the bunker and just eat his damage.
that fight got really messy, and I think chaotic fights are playing into what Yavapai wants a lot more than what 30 Seconds to Mosh wants.
The triple backline. There is so much damage. They are taxed.
This is the point in the game where you'd expect it to start to turn, and we kind of did. That fight was longer. It gave them an opportunity to kill Vala. But a number of these characters have ways to get out fairly easily. Junkrat with his bomb jump. The shield on Johanna.
That was a nice move, though, by Farfignuven stunning him out of that, because that could have been very problematic.
So they're going to sniff out the people hiding in bushes. Farfignuven's Diablo has been pretty good at just making sure there's not someone hiding on the captain is all alone, though, against Auraluna. And, oh, big heals, but is it going to be enough? Brightwing teleports in on Auraluna. Johanna jumping on the backline. There's already one character completely out of this fight in Jaina. And they cap it. That's going to be another one. At least one keep is going down here to this. Again, what the captain was doing well out at the bottom of here, it really harmed his team. He didn't.
But he cost his team the cap.
So again, it's just gonna be desperate. But 20 hits for the red team. Diablo trying to force a pick, but it's just not working. And out comes the polymorph. Farflight Quiver, Cannonball.
Look at how much damage they're putting into Diablo. Look at how much healing Diablo's getting.
And the Fire Breath comes out, so that pushes it back. They do not lose that keep. The top keep is taking a lot of damage, and it is going to go down.
Yes. Mid keep is going to soon follow, I believe.
Oh, so much damage on Farfignuven. He goes down immediately to the Manticore damage and the Qs. And they just can't compete with this 20. The 20s was a huge spike for Yavapai, and they are looking to finish this game. No, they're looking to back out, but... Oh, the instant mount with Steed Charge. Raka's trying to force this fight, but she gets polymorph. She takes so much damage. The Anduin healing barely keeping her up. The captain also so much damage. Drops a Blizzard.
We do have 20s talents coming through for Yava. We have Intensified Toxin, Radiating Faith, Invisible Friends, Farflight Quiver, and Cannonballs.
And again, we're seeing their ability to do damage so much higher because of how they're playing it. 52.
If they get engaged on, they lose the fight. If they do the engaging, there's not much that 30 Seconds to Mosh can do.
It seems like they've really got a skill for pulling fights in directions they want them to go, though. Using a flank from Shanks, just using Johanna to slow them down, bombing Junkrat into another position. They love the front-to-back fight of 30 Seconds to Mosh wants to charge through in a head-to-head, stand-it-out fight. Yavapai wants you to go up, then sideways, then down, then sideways again. They want to discombobulate you. And
Junkrat causes chaos.
Between the Shanks picks and the mobility that they have on these heroes, they're really making it difficult to have a knockdown, drag-out fight. And I think that's frustrating 30 Seconds to Mosh. But again, they've hit 20 now. They also have their own power coming in. We've got the upgrade to Welly.
Yes.
We've got Lord of Terror. Interesting. So we've got Lifesteal on Diablo instead of the Hellgate. Bob and Weave, Wintermute, Burn Notice, and Censure. So they're not going to fight this one. There isn't much reason to, although there are two camps coming in on Keep. They're going to take their own camps.
They need to pick a smart fight is what I was thinking more. Why not just throw yourself at them?
The fight on that. So Raka has to come back and kill this because at this point the catapults and the Sage Giants will do tons of damage to the Keep. And there's also a Bruiser camp here that needs to be pushed back. Tyke is going to come back and kill this catapult as well as what remains here. And at this point, this fight needs to happen sooner rather than later. The lanes will always push into 30 Seconds to Mosh now.
How do you find a pick with Junkrat, Lunara?
You focus Vala.
How do you... No. Vision. The vision control they have.
You focus Vala. You wait till they show, because both teams are going to move as 5 now, and you take out the Vala. Junkrat has a lot of damage, but it's slow damage. The Vala is what's melting them right now. And if Shanks tries to flank, you pull your tank to just immediately squish her. I think that's their only hope in terms of a team fight win.
We'll see how this goes.
But here it comes. This is going to be the final fight of the game. The stun on
Regret.
Rocket goes deep and does get the stun on Shanks. Oh no, once again, the light bomb does nothing. Shanks is getting chased down by Sub-Zero and dies. Rocket, oh, what a polymorph! Stops the E mid-fight. Oh, but the root on Brightwing, and Brightwing's gonna die. Or Luna now getting drilled by the laser drill. Rocket's at about half health. The captain's low also. Sarah Lenise still standing here, but realizing they can't safely stay in. Or Luna also backing up.
They need to do something, and they need to do it quick.
Well, they're going to lose bottom keep. They can't get here in time to destroy these, and they're going to have to de-push as well. But that was a fight they needed. That was not just experience, but just that feeling like we're still in this game. We can win this game. And kind of enough to force Yavapai, you know.
I don't know how Shanks got in the position he did, but
I think Sub-Zero just out-traded, and Anduin was back there too to provide the heals. So Yavapai are going to go for their camp here coming up in 1 second. Both of their characters will be up in time for this next seed. It looks like there's going to be an attempt at an invade. It's already taken, but now they're going to go. They're going to try and get ahead of this. And there's the stun. Go to the flip, but the Brightwing's coming in. The light bomb, is it going to get value this time? It does. It stuns, but the unstoppable comes out for Johanna. The Welly is out, but it's not really getting much value. Captain trying to dance around these bombs and seems to be able to. Drops the Blizzard to slow the enemy team. The invisible Johanna coming out, but Sub-Zero does hit her with a grenade. Thought of Fitnahigan. Standing here trying to take damage.
Because Born is trying to get the channel through.
Oh, they're trying to get the channel, but I think they needed to focus on the fight. So low on the team. He's going to go for Fire Breath in the hopes of getting killed. But Born to Shine going to get hit. He's at 25 hit points and killed. Diablo goes down, but he had Soul, so he'll be up soon. Raka had to drop Bunker. But Polymorphed and now attacked. Shanks can't decide who he wants to kill first, but it doesn't matter. 2 deaths. Well, 3 deaths, really, with Diablo back, but without Souls, he's a much squishier target. And it looks like Yavapai wants to try to end this game. They're heading to the top lane. They smell brooms because they're looking for the reverse sweep. The charge by Firefoot Nugan. Oh, flips them out. Here comes the stun. Firefoot Nugan. The captain doing damage. Going to go down. No healer left in this game. 40%, 30% on the core. 20%, 10%, and game over. Yavapai with the reverse sweep, and they win 2-1. Over 30 seconds to Mosh.
Well played.
And a tough game there. We're going to go to the summary, and we're going to ask Yavapai if they would like to send someone for an interview.
Well played by both teams.
Yep. Andrade is not allowing whispers.
Message another one then.
I did.
Yo, sorry I interrupted you guys earlier.
So an exciting match.
Is that match over?
The match is over, but the stream might not be. We're going to see if anybody wants to come on for an interview after the reverse sweep by Yavapai.
I had little faith in the triple backline, in the triple DPS, but I must say, they took my faith in it from like 10% to 15%.
Well, they showed they could do something that no one else really does, right? With the
Exactly. If you have a niche, abuse it.
Andrade will come for an interview. Which voice chat? I'll head to
We'll go over to casting
lobby in NGS. No, it's okay. I'll head into NGS and break it down on one of these ones here. Andrade, how you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
really good. That was an awesome, awesome match. Some really interesting picks there by Shanks to try and throw the enemy team off. And with the reverse sweep, it looks like he got in their heads. Tell me how you guys were feeling going into game two, realizing you needed to win the next two in a row.
Uh, we were feeling okay. We had joked about playing solo lane Lunar in game one, but then we were like, no, let's do Zul'jin. But looking in retrospect, it would have been much better for Lunara there instead of the Zul'jin, just because of like rotations and being able to like back up in time to save himself, which is what. And then he had a bunch of early ganks, which has set us really far back. So like we knew where our biggest flaws in that game were, and so we were comfortable moving forward.
I personally don't think it was a draft decision. I think it was you put the Tassadar down there, let the Tassadar play the goalie role, and you have the Zul'jin stacking his butt off against the tanks, and I think you fix your problem.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Game two, again, it's hard not to focus. We really loved your Johanna in games 2 and 3. You really seemed to know where and when to be. But that hammer absolutely took over game two with also the throughput from the Vala, the throughput from the Gul'dan. Is this something that you guys have just really been working on, kind of this triple backline and using damage as its own shield as opposed to some kind of bulky offlaner?
I think Shancy is just really, really good at hammer, and he really has fun playing her. And we just kind of as a team know how to play around her.
Wait, who's
That
Shancy?
that he feels like if it's
Oh, you
if
mean
it's
Shanks?
open, he's like, yeah, Shank.
Oh, okay.
He feels like we feel like if it's open, we feel comfortable enough playing it in whatever scenario. So we were like, it's open, let's do it.
Yeah, they got that.
Yeah.
They put that big hammer band down again in game three. They don't want to see. Is he a really strong Sam and Artanis too? Is that why they consistently banned those?
He plays Samuro. He's not our Artanis player. The Artanis was for Sarah Lynn.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we get a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of freedom with our picks because lots of teams feel like they have to ban the Samuro and the hammer against us.
In that last game, there was a lot of just really clean, crisp rotations, trying to force 30 seconds to Mosh to respond, and a lot of times you guys came out in fights with either great Shansi flanks or wonderful bombs from the Junkrat. As you guys were starting to close that one out, as you realized you could finish it, I don't know, how exciting was it that you realized you were gonna, reverse sweep and get your first win of the season?
It was pretty cool. It was pretty exciting. I can say for the last I can't tell you game time, but the last 3 objectives or like collections, the seeds, it was like, okay, guys, just don't die. Like as long as we don't die, we're in a very good spot. Like we can see the game out. Just don't die.
Explain to me the mindset behind the triple backline, and why forgo a bruiser when, I mean, you know the meta. Um, where did that come from, and why does it work so well with you guys?
So to answer the second part, I think it works well for us just because we have so much practice with it at this point. It's kind of second nature to us. But to answer the first part, why we start doing it, Shank likes to just likes to play goofy heroes. It's funnier to us, I guess. But it's also kind of strategic in that a lot of teams, because they're not used to seeing it because it's not what is normal, will have to adapt. It's harder for them to adapt, I think, than it is for us to adapt, which
I
is
couldn't
why
agree
we do
more.
it.
You'll hear if you rewatch the cast. I said, hey, if you have a niche that you are good at, step right into it and fully abuse it, because you're putting somebody, even if they're on their best hero, you're putting them in a comfort zone that they're not used to.
We had some absolutely great matches there, Andrade. We'd like to thank you and 30 Seconds to Mosh for some great games. Is there any shoutouts you want to do before we shut down the stream?
Oh yeah, shout out to the team. Really good work coming off the loss we had last week, and shout out to the Fresh Vibes Cantina.
What's that? If you know what I'm asking.
It's a Discord server with a bunch of my friends in it.
Oh,
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Andrade. Thank you for some awesome games. Looking forward to casting maybe some more Yavapai in the future. We know that I remember from back when I was in Divi, Yavapai is known as the team that just likes to have fun, and you really bore it out in this series. So good luck the rest of the season, and maybe we'll see you again.